Okay, so thank you guys for being here on our region huddle for Tuesday night. So we are going to be talking about the topic of my training tonight is stop waiting for tomorrow and take action today. Okay, so as you guys all know, well, some of you know, the ones that have been around long enough know that we have 12 days left in the month. And 12 days in Arbonne time is like an eternity, okay? So to give you an example of how it's an eternity, some people join this business on like the 29th of the month and they can go area qual by the 31st, okay? So like that amount of QV, like 10,000 QV can be accomplished and has been accomplished by people in 3 days. So that's like just putting it into context of how much time we have. So if you are sitting here and you're like writing down your goals and you're looking at them and you're thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm not even close to what I thought I was going to be at. I'll just next month, like I'll just do this next month. I'll do it next month. The problem with next monthing yourself is that you just always next month yourself. So like next month, when you're sitting at this time in the month, you're going to next month yourself. And what happens is you're in that like hamster wheel of just always next monthing yourself. And you're never, ever actually getting out of your comfort zone and pushing towards your goals. So it's so easy to stay in this like warm, cozy, I'm freezing, so I have a blanket on me, but like this warm, cozy, like, oh, just like send my one ask out for the day. And if it doesn't happen, then whatever. That's really nice, like a safe, nice place to be. But like, that's not where your business is going to grow. And you're going to be in that place forever, because if we don't get out of our comfort zones, we aren't going to grow as a person and we're not going to grow our team. So it's really important for you guys to get out of your comfort zones and go for those goals. Even if they're scary, go for them anyways. So breaking down that 3,500, okay, 11 kits, you guys, 11 kits. And let's say you purchase 1 or 2 for yourself, then take that number down and like, so it's just chunking it down. And then maybe you sponsor a new consultant, and that new consultant, maybe they do 2,500, 3,500 this month. Right? And then where are you sitting, right? You're almost at area qual with that. So just breaking it down, it's so important. So I want you guys to like, not just be listening to what I'm saying. I want you to actually implement what I'm saying. So it's one thing to be like, oh, that training was so good. Like, you know, great tips, Jenna. But if you don't actually take what I say and do what I'm not your manager and I'm not trying to tell any of you guys what to do, but I've been in the trenches and I've done all this. I've been through all this. I've been through the scary times. I've been through the fearful times. I've been through the low times. I've been through the times where I wanted to quit and I just didn't. And so that's the thing. People in Arbonne that make it to the MVP level, it's the top 1%. Do you want to know why it's the top 1%? Because everyone else quits because it gets too hard. So be that 1%, like be that person that's like in 4 years, your life looks completely different because you just kept fighting. You kept getting knocked down and you kept fighting. So decide today, I don't know, like when you get off this call, decide that you are going to go for your goal. So in it, I've been saying this a lot to like all, like certain people that I'm talking to, like one-on-ones and just like throughout the day on my team. I've been saying, what's your goal for the next 24 hours? What's your goal for the next 72 hours? Like Debbie Neal always says, set a goal. And then once you reach that goal, what's your new goal? You're always wanting to have goals. And sometimes people are like, oh, goals, like goals aren't really, I get that. Like, I'm not, how do I say this? Like, goals are good, but I'm not like a slave driver in the fact that like, if you don't meet that goal, you're like dead to me. Like, that's not how I'm not wording it like that. I'm just saying you should always, even with your health goals or your like with your personal goals in life, like are you going to work out 4 times a week this week? Are you going to meditate? Maybe you're going to read 4 pages of a book every night. Like, what's your goal? And like, try to stick to it, because that's the difference between people that are like successful in all areas of their life or a lot of areas of their life and people that aren't. The people that aren't are like, I'm just going to watch Netflix tonight. I'm just going to watch Netflix tomorrow night and the next night. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with Netflix. I'm not saying but if you want to promote through the levels and you want to grow your business, you're going to have to give up things right now that you really enjoy to have the things that you really want in this life down the road. So it's like short-term pain for long-term gain. So I had to say no to like some outings, and luckily for you guys, you don't have to say no to anything because you're not going anywhere. So don't worry about that. But like, Some people have to like give up like watching the TV at night. You're going to do your asks. You're going to do your social media stuff. You're going to plan your day for tomorrow. So decide that you guys are going for your goal and don't give up until it's freaking 2 a.m. on close day. Okay, don't mess, next month yourself, eternity and time. Get really good with multitasking, you guys. So multitasking is so key in this business, and it's like key in life if you're a parent. But like, I remember when I was going region, first of all, my mom came over to my house and she was like, she said to my sisters, I'm really worried about Jenna. And my sisters told me this after, and I was so offended. My mom was like, her house is just a disaster. Like the dishes were piled. You should have seen my kitchen. It was pathetic. I think I ordered food probably for 2 weeks straight. Pearson ate popcorn for dinner one night. I don't even know. I was just like, it was crazy. And I'm not making this sound very good for you guys, am I? You're just like, oh God. But that's what happens when you're like pushing so hard for a goal. You just live and breathe it. Like you become obsessed. And so anyways, I told my mom, I'm like, see, Mom, after I promoted to region, she came over and I was like, see, the house is all clean. It's all better now. I was focusing on something. And she was like, I'm so glad. I was really worried about you. But anyways, you're going to go through, like, when you're pushing for goals, you're going to like, some things are going to just fall off the side, like for a bit, and that's okay. You're still you're still like, you're going to get back to it, whatever. It's fine. And do you think now, like, I look back and think, oh, I had dishes in my sink for 2 weeks. Ooh, like, no, I actually don't care at all. So yeah, so what things can you start to do to implement moving forward in your business today? I've talked about a few of these already, and if you haven't started to implement them, please listen to what I'm saying, because I'm not just wasting my breath here. I'm actually trying to help you guys. So start doing the 30 days to healthy living. If you already are on the program, amazing, because what happens is you start to feel good. And when you start to feel good, you start to attract good, and all good things just like start to flow into your life. And that's a really awesome place to be. Secondly, you're posting on social media about your shakes. You're posting about your fizz. You're posting about your greens. You're posting about recipes, you're making dinner, you're whatever. I know some of you guys really like to bake. I know some of you guys really like to make new recipes. Make up your like mint mousse. Make up your like chocolate chip cookie dough like I made the other night. Oh my God, have you guys tried that yet? It's freaking bomb. It's so good. And I know, like, I see Michaela's just joined. Hi. And she loves to bake. And Tess is like, I just go to her for all my recipes because I'm like, what are you making? And so post all that stuff, you guys, because what happens when you post, and I know that I've done this. I've done this with other Arbonne consultants, like Caitlin Courtney, the one girl I follow in the States. I'm like, oh my gosh, she keeps posting about this mixture of this, and this product. So I started doing it. And it's because she kept posting it every single day. And what we call that is attraction marketing. Okay. So if you're posting every single day, your smoothies, this is what's in my smoothie every single day. And these are the benefits of the smoothie, 20 grams of vegan protein, da, 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 da. If you're posting about your skincare routine, maybe you're posting a new mask that you're wearing. If you're posting on social media over and over and over again, people, it's like a subconscious thing. It gets in their head and they're like, they get sucked in and they're like, what is she posting about all the time? Like, what is she doing? She looks really good. Her vibe's changing. Holy, she's like getting fit and she's like meditating and she's reading. Like, who is this girl? And honestly, all those things are helping you become the best version of you. And I know that sounds like so like, oh, best version of you, like whatever. But honestly, I'm a different person than I was 5 years ago, and I do not regret it. So sorry if I'm like, sorry that I'm not even saying sorry. I was reading and journaling and doing all these things that I thought maybe people would think I'm like, oh, frou-frou-y, but I actually don't care because they're not paying my bills. And yeah, so do the 30 days, post about it. And guys, get on social media, and you might be scared. I don't really care. Just do a live, go live, do a story. It doesn't even have to be an HGTV. I always say that, like, I love that show, but IGTV, it doesn't even have to be an IGTV, just do a little story, and then do it tomorrow, and then do it the next day, and then do it the next day, because people want to see someone that's consistent, right? Like, think about it. Would you follow someone that's doing home decor posts but they only post like once a week? No, I'd be like, that's boring. You don't have anything. I'm going to go find someone else. So please keep that in mind. 30 and 30 challenge. We talked about this already. It is so, so crucial. Like Carly Pynchon is #1 in Canada, you guys. She is a rockin' and rollin' team, and they do 30 and 30. So if we want to be like all ENVPs one day with a sick success line, we need to start doing what the 1%'s doing. And they're doing 30 and 30. So that's like tonight, when you get off this call, I want you guys to literally send 10 messages out. I don't care, like just 10 messages to people. Come from a place of love and always state, this may or may not be for you, no obligation or pressure, but I have this tug at my heart to ask you if you've ever heard of Arbonne or if you are interested in trying some products. Send those messages out tonight, because guess what's going to happen tomorrow? Instead of waking up tomorrow and not having anything on your phone and being like, okay, so what do I do today? If you send 10 messages out tonight, or 15 or 20, tomorrow you might have a couple responses. And then you can be like, oh, okay, like awesome. And then it gets you into that mood of like, I'm in activity, like this is good. And it like feeds into like the next day and the next day. So if you just did 3 to 4 asks every day, then you're always kind of in momentum. And we always go on 30, 60, 90-day cycles, right? So the QV might not show up right away when you start to do these asks. And you guys are probably all thinking, oh, Jenna, you think everyone's going to respond to me tomorrow? I got you fooled. I know. Trust me. I send out asks every day and I don't get responses every day. I don't care. I keep asking other people. And then those people that I asked are like, not a distant memory, but I'm just like, oh yeah, I did ask Emily a while ago, and now she's watching all my stories. So she can just watch my journey until she's comfortable, and then we'll have another conversation, and she'll probably join my team, right? I'm like, ooh, worked up tonight. You guys are probably like, what is she on? 15-minute Facebook parties. We already talked about this a little bit tonight, and we know how successful they can be. So 15-minute Facebook parties, you guys, ask your friends to do you a favor. They get rewards, you get into their network of people, and the key is to book a party from a party, so then you can like continue the momentum and have another party from that party. And if you don't book a party from the party, then what your job is to reach out personally and add everyone that was in that party to your social media, Facebook or Instagram, and then send them a personal message, saying like, thank you so much for being a part of that group, that party. I just want to like personally introduce myself, and then blah, 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 blah. If you want to say like, would you ever consider hosting a party? Or if I sent you some samples in the mail, like maybe they purchased product, hopefully they did, that's awesome. And just a thank you, because we want to like, it all comes back to like being really like personable in this business and treating our clients with like love and care, instead of just like not the mentality of like we sign them up once and they order a box of fizz and we're like, oh, just got the QV and the money and commissions, I'm done with you now. Like that's totally not how we want to represent Arbonne, and that's not how we want to represent like this region. Like, so just keep that in mind. Facebook parties can be huge. Like we were just saying, Adele just did one and it's like almost 5,000 QB. Like one party, you guys. It's just absolutely freaking bonkers. Okay, so I already spoke about that. Okay, so yeah, so excitement, we want excitement in our business. We don't want desperation or urgency. So there's a huge difference. When you're going for a goal, there can be some desperation creep in. Like you're like sitting there going, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this done? I am like feeling desperate, and I'm like, there's like this, like, I have to just like reach out to everyone and anyone. And like, I sound like a crazy person, and try not to do that, you guys. Like try to really just like calm yourself and know that like this, whatever goal you're going for is going to get done. It's done. Okay, so it's half the battle is believing that it's done, and then the other half is actually doing the activity. So just like try to always reach out with excitement and conviction, okay? Because we all know that Arbonne is a gift, and for those that see it as a gift, will realize it's a gift. Okay, so like I always say, like I don't know where I would be without Arbonne. And so like if someone like, you know, if someone, we all get these, like when we reach out to someone, we all get the like haters that might comment and say like, oh my gosh, you're like part of one of those pyramid schemes, like what a joke, blah, blah, blah. I literally now, when I first started this business, I used to like cry when people said that to me. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And now I literally, like when I get a message like that, I'm like, oh, that poor thing. She should probably read a book. Like I actually am just like, I don't give a flying, you know what, like she has some issues she has to work through, and I'm going to say a little prayer for her. So that's how I act now towards those haters, because you know what, they can say whatever they want. And yeah, act like every day's close day. This is actually my last point, and then we'll stop the recording and I'll see if you guys have questions. If you acted like every day was close day, how do you think your business would look? Like, close day is always pretty crazy, right? Like, we're like, yes, it's close day, everyone's pumped up. Well, some months it's like, meh, meh, meh. Like in Arbonne, like right? Like, I don't know, December, New Year's, people are busy, and you know, but most close days like are super exciting. And this close day in January is going to be super exciting because we have lots of people going for their promotion to DM. So it's like all of us cheering everyone on, and it's a super exciting time. But if you just treated every day like it was close day, with a little bit more urgency, I think that you would probably really like your results at the end of the month, because you worked with urgency all through the month. Instead of being like, procrastinate, which I sometimes procrastinate. I don't know if there's anyone else that's a procrastinator, but sometimes I'll be like, oh, I will just, yep, next week I'll get to that. And then next week comes and you're like, oh God, I still haven't got to that. And then it's like the last day and you're like, I have 15 messages to send to my team and I've got this and that. And like, and then it's close day. Like, it's kind of too late to be like sending all those messages you needed to send last week, right? So, yeah, so just treat every day like close day, and you should be really happy with your results at the end of the month. And the other thing I want to say is, if you have a goal and you don't reach it, that's okay. Like, I mean, the first time I tried to go region, we qualified, but then we didn't finish the next month. It's okay. It's not. If you lose your DM title, that's okay. You can get it back. Like, it humbles us, right? And it's like God's way of putting obstacles in your life so that he, like, basically when you go through a struggle or an obstacle or whatever, I'm like trying to give examples, like, I don't know, a really bad breakup, or maybe your child gets sick with something, or you go through a divorce, or you lose a pet, or whatever it is. God's like basically saying to you, like, what did you learn from that obstacle? And now you're going to grow. So I'm not saying that people, like strong people, are the ones that have had obstacles. I'm not saying that. There's strong people that are just like been blessed and like have a really great life, but obviously they probably have some crap in the back that we don't know about. But like, to the eye, if you see someone, you're like, they have like a perfect life. Like, they don't have anything that seems to have gone wrong. Trust me, there's probably lots that's gone wrong. You just don't really see it, or they don't talk about it. So yeah, so just grow through all those obstacles and challenges, and know that if you do grow through them and you learn, like the universe, I always say God, like, I don't know what, maybe you guys don't believe in God, but like universe, higher power, whatever, spiritual angel, whatever you call it, is basically saying, okay, you passed the test, and now I'm going to like bless you with this, you know? That's how I look at it. It's the only way I can look at it, because I would actually go crazy if I didn't look at it that way, because like, how else are you supposed to look at things like that? So I'm going to stop rambling on. I'm going to stop this recording.